Hello there. In Tuesday's News 2 headlines, first, the case for human cloning. Doctors are defending their controversial decision to go ahead with plans for human cloning before an expert scientific panel in the United States. The doctors, an Italian and an American, are trying to convince a committee of the US National Academies of Science that the use of cloning to help childless couples conceive is practically and ethically acceptable. An Irish student detained by Italian police during last month's anti-globalisation protests in Genoa is to be released tomorrow. That's according to a group who've been campaigning for the Dubliner Joe Moffat. He was charged with being in possession of a lethal weapon. Sinn Féin's Martin McGuinness has accused the Unionist leader David Trimble of making a grievous error of judgment in rejecting yesterday's IRA proposal on arms. Mr Trimble said what was needed was actual decommissioning. The SDLP's John Hume has voiced his party's concerns over the failure by the two governments to publish the plans for policing reform. Police investigating last Friday's car bomb at Ealing in London have said they've received a disappointing response from the public after releasing closed-circuit television footage of the chief suspect leaving the area. The dissident Republican group, the Real IRA, has been blamed for the blast, which injured 11 people. Ryanair profits have gone up by more than a quarter for the first 4 months of the year. The company also had a 42% increase in passenger numbers. A British Airways Concorde landed safely at Shannon Airport this afternoon to begin 4 days of crew training. The aircraft have been grounded since last year's crash outside Paris. That's our lot for now. You can join us for News 2 at 11:05. Until then, good night.
Hello there and a very good evening to you. Well, the weather at the moment is pretty disappointing for right at the height of summer, and tomorrow won't bring us any significant improvement, I'm afraid. But we're not the only ones suffering at this time. You can see on the satellite clouds showing up all over Western and Northern Europe, stretching from Scandinavia down along the Low Countries into France, Germany and the UK. This cloud, in fact, today bringing some fairly heavy rain to those parts. You had to head way out towards Eastern Europe and down towards the Balkans before you saw any sort of half-decent sunshine. Now you can see the effect all that cloud is having on the temperatures. By and large, they're just in the teens, perhaps just edging into the low 20s, and I'm afraid over the next couple of days we're not going to see any great improvement in that, the warmest temperatures down towards the Balkans. So tomorrow we're going to see more unsettled weather for those countries along the perimeter of the North Sea. Some fairly heavy showers in western France. They're going to be pushing on into Germany as we make our way into Thursday, all the while remaining unsettled up towards those Nordic countries too. The winds across Ireland and Britain were relatively light today, a little bit fresher down towards the Bay of Biscay. Over the next few days the winds will never be all that strong, although they will settle into a more northwesterly direction. So what it means for the ferries is pretty comfortable crossings on the Irish sea routes, a little bit choppier north and south of that. Now tomorrow is going to be another unsettled day with rain at times in the east. It will tend to be more showery the further west that you go. Top temperatures 15 to about 18 degrees, but we'll have a fresh northwesterly breeze setting in. That's the forecast. Have a good night.